Pulling garlic. Started. Can't hardly tell. Because the squash is starting to invade the garlic. Believe it or not, it's in its own row right here. You can't tell anymore. So, got some squashes. Look at how cool it's growing up that sunflower. That zucchini. I've never seen one grow pretty much straight up like that one is. Cucumbers, they need some help. They haven't figured out where the trellis is yet. It's a jungle out there. We have the 2 potato rows here that are coming to the end of their existence. Starting to die back. Possibly a little maybe a little disease, but that's okay. They have been in for long enough. However, I'm not going to pull them until much later, until there's nothing left, no green left on their stems. We have some purple beans that need picked. I like these because they are easy to see to pick. Lots of peas also needing picked. More beans, some flowers. Beans didn't have super good germination out here on this end row, so I plugged in some flowers from starts. Yeah. Moving on, we have what is supposed to be some Brussels sprouts. However, I'm really wondering if I didn't get something mixed up, or because some of these really look like kohlrabi, like this one. They don't particularly look like Brussels sprouts like that one. More supposed Brussels sprouts. Wonder what's going on here, if they're dry. Probably must be dry. Sprinkler must not be getting them too good. I don't know. Oh yeah, and look at this one. Does that look like a kohlrabi? I think it does. I wasn't even sure that I planted any. I mean, maybe I did, or maybe it's a cross-pollination. I'm not exactly sure. I never did plant this last part of the trellis here. It was gonna be later peas and beans, but because we had so much going on, I didn't end up planting it. This is the other side of that garlic row. There's lots of straw growing in between the onions that don't look super huge, unfortunately. A lot of them have tipped over, and I have been hesitating on picking them because of how small they are. Small onions. Need to do better next year. Got quite a few volunteer potatoes. These are volunteers of stuff that we missed last year that's growing in this row. And then it changes to garlic up that way. More giant zucchini plants. I planted so many to give the excess to the pigs. And it has become a jungle. These ones here, these zucchini, I didn't even plant until mid-June. And this is why I didn't end up replanting that small fence back there, that last third, because I planted a whole another 50-foot row of those purple beans. I don't even really need that many beans this year. I still have about 20 jars canned up from last year. I do not know what I'm going to do with all of these beans. But look at how pretty. I grew these from my own safe seed. Just pretty purple flowers. There's a little bee. There he goes. And then these are a different kind of potato that I also didn't get planted until mid-June. Some zinnias from Safe Seed. Peppers. The peppers are doing all right considering everything was well stunted because I did not get it in when I should have got it in, or when I planted it in little pots. This is a volunteer white Cosmo growing out of the plastic. I definitely did not plant that there. Try and stand it up. Just let it fall. Okay, then we have some melons. I planted 2 varieties of cantaloupe and 2 varieties of watermelon. Some purple bachelor buttons that have done amazing in my cold garden. These are on that side of on the trellis. It's supposed to be pickling cucumbers, which also are having a very hard time finding the trellis, so that's on the to-do list so that I can walk through here, because between the cucumbers and the watermelon, you can't hardly walk through here already. Still got about another month of grow season. Can you see the little bee? Pretty sunflower. And then in the high tunnel, this fence here is cherry tomatoes. Haven't gotten very many all the way ripe ones yet. Camera doesn't want to focus. I'm gonna eat that one. So these cherry tomatoes, a lot of them are a sun gold variety. Look at how tall. This is a Farmer's Friend tunnel. Gothic Farmer's Friend tunnel. Look at how tall those sunflowers are up to the peak. And all of those sunflowers are volunteers. Yes? All of them are volunteers. Over here we had some cauliflower that I've picked and did not replant. And then these are all slicing tomatoes hung up on string from the side of the tunnel. Oh, this just tipped over. Like I was out here earlier this morning. That's the thing with these sunflowers. They kind of tip over frequently. Laying there on the peppers. Gotta get that out of here. Whew. Right here I had little to no success of carrots germinating earlier this spring. You can kind of see. I don't know if you can see it, but it just looks like tiny. Will not. It will not. Anyway, there's tiny carrot starts that I replanted about 2 weeks ago-ish in a little, there, you can see them there. There's some new carrots, new carrot. One that I planted in the spring that survived that didn't do very well, or doesn't have very many leaves anyway. Some nasturtiums where the peppers didn't make it. The bees are loving the nasturtiums. Oh, he moved. Got this one with some variegated leaves. Look at how variegated this one is. Peppers are coming on. Got some variety that are long and skinny, some that are bell peppers. There's some bells. A lot of these, 90% of these, I saved the seeds from for the first time. I thought that they would cross pollinate more easily, but people said to save them. So I'm really happy that I did. I got the end of the broccoli here. Look at this. Sunflowers everywhere. Got some more peas right here in between the two sets of cucumbers. Look at the watermelon just knocked over this sunflower. It's like trying to survive. I mean, I don't know why else it just tipped over, but who knows? This one tipped over. All right, well, squirrel. Now back to regular scheduled programming. Harvesting all of the garlic. So my plan is to put it on this shelf right here. And let it dry out on there. Theory is, I think I can get at least 2 rows on each shelf that Then I can keep the varieties separated because I have the varieties actually marked. No way! Let's see if I can read the tags or not. If they have been out in the sun. So I'm gonna put it on time lapse and then we'll see what we get when we come back. When I'm done. So I marked the varieties for once, but I didn't do a good enough job at it because you cannot read them anymore. The sun completely bleached it out. Pointless. So there you have it. The garlic harvest. If I knew the names of the varieties, I'd try and tell you. I can tell you that I planted a lot of this top 2 rows here, and overall I think that they had the smaller bulbs. This variety down here at the bottom, the one I had first in the first row, I think had the most big ones. The second row had quite a few big ones as well. I didn't have as much planted of that variety, so I'm gonna guess it was a more expensive than the others. This purple variety did not do a lot of them, are very quite small. This is probably the biggest one. And I guess you can't really complain about that, but look at this one. Look at how big that one is. It's freaking huge, man. So, as far as what I will plant next year, I'd say time will tell. Time will tell, because those bigger ones are going to be a lot easier to clean, to use. No, I don't want to do that. It's kind of hard to tell I even took anything out of here. Is that too many weeds? Too many plants? Or is it just that late in the season? In my zone 3B. I'll be happy with a month of outside growing out here. Hopefully I can get 2 months in my tunnel. Fingers crossed.